Good morning, Scout leaders. My name is Hwai Kwon. I am a Rover Scout of the Korean Scout Association, and I was a participant in the 25th World Scout Jamboree.
Good morning, conference. My name is Jeffrey Kim, a newly appointed International Commissioner of the Korean Scout Association.
The Korea Scout Association would like to reflect on the 25th World Scout Jamboree held in August 2023, where we spent a very hot summer together. We experienced during the planning and the delivery of the Jamboree a series of challenges that went way beyond our expectations, and as we assume, all of yours too.
Today, the Korean Scout Association wishes to express our deepest regret for the shortcoming of this Jamboree. We also wish to extend our deepest regret to every NSO and participants for the difficulties you face in Saemangam. We are deeply aware of the challenges we had and reflected on the lessons we learned from them as a Scout organization of WOSM. In doing so, we wish to candidly share them to contribute to improving the World Scout Jamboree experience for the youth member of the future. First of all, we want to extend our sincere gratitude to the Scouts from around the world who embraced the Jamboree spirit despite the challenging condition, and to all ISTs, JMTs, and Scout leaders who remain committed to the well-being of our Scouts. Thank you to everyone here in the room and all those around the world who were with us in Saemangam last year, who helped us to manage the challenges we face.
The 25th World Scout Jamboree, themed Draw Your Dream, was held from August 1st to 12th, 2023 in Saemangam, Korea. A total of 42,646 participants from 156 countries participated in the Jamboree, including 1,437 from 151 countries invited through the Solidarity Program. To prepare for the event, IST members began arriving on July 29th for on-site training, and the Jamboree officially commenced with the opening ceremony on August 1st. From August 2nd to August 7th, 174 programs were run under the concept of 4S plus ACT, along with a Culture Exchange Day program and events such as Saemangam Got Talent. Unfortunately, during the Jamboree, Typhoon Kanun struck the Korean peninsula, leading to the evacuation of all participants across the country on August 8th for their safety.
During the 25th World Scout Jamboree, we experienced a series of challenges beyond our expectations.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, a pre-event for examining infrastructure and operating system could not be held the previous year, leaving campgrounds, roads, and facilities unassured for accommodating 40,000 participants adequately. Moreover, over a month of heavy rain before the Jamboree delayed the installation of essential facilities like toilets, showers, waste collection, and electrical systems. The lack of necessary sanitary facilities and insects such as mosquitoes caused unwanted discomfort for participants. And we express our deep regrets to all those who were affected. Insufficient manpower for maintenance led to sanitation issues in the early phase of the Jamboree. However, through the priceless efforts of ISTs and the service of 1,250 additional outsourcing personnel, stability of the camp management was gradually achieved from the fourth day of the opening.
As the host, we recognized that there was insufficient communication with member NSOs during the preparation and operation of the Jamboree. Limited human resources capable of the multilingual communication hindered adequate and prompt interaction with contingent, and the same situation persisted in the hub and sub-camp management with ISTs after the Jamboree began. Inadequately structured communication system within our organizing and managing bodies led to delays in disseminating updates on weather forecast, operational improvement, and program changes to the contingent, scout leaders, and participants in the campsite. Moreover, the uncoordinated communication channels set up between contingent management, host NSO, WOSM, and the Jamboree organizing committee caused confusion in various areas, including on-site registration processes, campsite safety control, supply distribution, and sub-camp operations.
As a final challenge, and one that could not be really controlled, was the unprecedented heavy rainfall and localized downpours Saemangeum experienced from the end of June 2023, disrupting the final preparations. Such conditions had not been observed in the region ever, leading to flooding issues at the Jamboree site upon arrival. We thank the contingent who helped us in delaying their arrival so work to prepare the site could continue. Additionally, a heat wave warning was issued for Saemangeum from July 28th to August 8th, with temperatures rising to around 37 degrees Celsius and humidity reaching about 80%, making it difficult for participants to join in activities. However, with Typhoon Kanun, the first in Korean weather observation history to cut through the Korean peninsula, all participants had to be evacuated across Korea on August 8th. Thanks to the close cooperation between the host, WOSM, member NSOs, and the Korean government, 40,000 participants were evacuated smoothly without any significant incident. Following the evacuation, the government of the host NSO provided various alternative programs in immediate and close cooperation with private sectors, local government, religious and civil societies to allow participants to experience diverse Korean culture. On August 11th, approximately 40,000 participants who were taking part in new Jamboree experiences across Korea gathered at the Seoul World Cup Stadium for the closing ceremony and the concert event, concluding a 12-day journey of worldwide Scout friendship.
Acknowledging the challenges addressed above, we could learn the following lessons. The Jamboree is an event of the Scout, by the Scout, and for the Scouts. From the bidding stage to planning and execution, we have learned that Scout should lead the entire operation in the Scout way, with support from experts in various areas. For a successful Jamboree, the host NSO must collaborate with diverse stakeholders, including national and local governments, private companies, civil societies, and so on. Scout must stay in the driver's seat of our events to proactively control and coordinate them with flexibility, inclusiveness, and Scout mastery. We have learned that the Scout movement has a substantial pool of volunteer Scout leaders worldwide who have expertise in various fields such as programs, event planning, logistics, engineering, etc. It is essential to effectively mobilize these resources and encourage them to actively engage in the planning and executing process of the World Scout events. It is not just one star player, but teamwork that makes the dream work. We have learned all stakeholders, including host NSO, contingent, WOSM, and local government, must actively communicate and cooperate with. With mutual respect and shared accountability, the constructive and open cooperating mechanism for all responsible entities is the key to successful World Scout event. We are conscious that we did not always achieve this during the planning and delivery of the Jamboree.
As Scouts, we must pursue diversity in our events. The Jamboree is an important platform for Scouts to experience a broader and more diverse world, becoming responsible global citizens. To this end, Scout leaders from different generations with diverse Scout experiences, cultural understandings, and regional backgrounds should continually collaborate to prepare an inclusive Jamboree. Scouts must ensure the diversity of cultures, values, beliefs, and religions in all activities and facilities in the Jamboree site, ensuring a safe and enjoyable Jamboree free from any physical and mental harms. The World Scout Jamboree can be completed with the full participation of Scouts from around the world. To maximize Jamboree experience, participation from all member countries should be guaranteed. To this end, the Jamboree should be affordable for all Scouts worldwide, and the Solidarity Program should be strengthened.
Through this Jamboree, we clearly witness how climate change affects our lives in Scouting. Beyond just experiencing and recognizing extreme weather, we realize the need for the comprehensive awareness and actionable risk management plans to include climate change for the seamless operation of World Scout events. From large-scale events like the World Scout Jamboree to national jamborees, camporees, and even unit-level events, various scenarios and thorough risk management plan must be considered to address climate change. Additionally, Scouts should continuously be encouraged to pay more attention to this issue and join in Scouts for SDG for mitigating the climate crisis that they are facing.
The Korea Scout Association, based on the lessons learned from the 25th World Scout Jamboree, is pursuing organizational reform and innovation with a new leadership in place as of 2024. We are striving to strengthen internal capacities based on GSAT 3.0 and to create a better future through sound relations with the government, private sectors, and communities in Korea. We will fulfill our role as a responsible NSO of WOSM to uphold the Scout method and provide meaningful value to our youth.
There were numerous newses broadcasted and published about this Jamboree from local and international media. Most are true. However, several essential aspects were not covered behind some provocative articles. The noble sacrifices made by the ISTs, dedicated commitment of each CMT members, unwavering efforts of the WOSM team and JMTs, and above all, the passion and inspiration of each young scout at the Jamboree were not sufficiently covered.
We would like to express our deepest gratitude to all those involved. We also applaud the resilience of young scouts in the face of adversity, sometimes suffering. While that type of resilience shouldn't have been necessary, we hope that what will remain is the friendships and dreams that they built with Scouts across the world.
We remember what Secretary General Ahmed Al-Hindawi highlighted at the closing ceremony. No other Jamboree in history showed such determination, creativity, and resilience of the Scouts gathered here. In this Jamboree, one thing that we knew was proven once again: if anyone can do it, it's you, Scout.
We hope that the Scout participants of this World Scout Jamboree continue to remember and hold the friendships forged in Saemangeum, and are now on their way to realize their own dreams, wherever they are. We will remember them and wish them all the best in achieving their bold and wildest dreams.
As dream makers for the next generation, we appreciate your valuable dedication to the Scout movement. We look forward to seeing youth from all over the world bravely dreaming and being ready for life towards the next World Scout Jamboree in 2027. Thank you for your long attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Korea Scout Association, for your report on the 25th World Scout Jamboree, your reflections on the challenges that you faced, and the lessons learned as an NSO.
Moving on, dear friends, today we have the morning filled with exciting updates from WOSM events, and we hope you have enjoyed hearing some of these reports from the past world events. However, now it is time to look ahead into the future. As most of us will know, following the compounded challenges experienced at the 25th World Scout Jamboree, in September 2023, the World Scout Committee commissioned an independent review panel to conduct a comprehensive review of the planning and delivery of the event. The report of the panel was published to the movement in April 2024, and since then, the results have been the key to the development of the WOSM event strategy. We will now hear a video report from Phil Harrison, co-chair of the independent panel and former Chief Commissioner of Scouts Australia. He will be summarizing the key findings and recommendations from their report.
Today I will present the key findings from the Independent Review Panel's report on the 25th World Scout Jamboree and share recommendations to enhance future World Youth Scout events. First, I would like to acknowledge the significant work of the members of the Independent Review Panel. Neil Carney from Ireland, co-chair, Marie Reinicki from Sweden, Rocio Moreno Lopez from Mexico, Ana Saldariga from Colombia, and Kevin Tan from Singapore. How did the panel conduct its review? The Independent Review Panel was appointed by the World Scout Committee to conduct a comprehensive review of the 25th World Scout Jamboree. The methodology employed by the panel was through encompassing both qualitative and quantitative approaches to ensure a holistic understanding of the events that transpired. The review process was carried out in 3 distinct phases. Data collection from October 23 to January 24. Surveys were conducted with 58 National Scout organisations, resulting in 1,473 responses, which provided a wealth of information on various aspects of the event. Focus groups were organised, bringing together representatives from National Scout organisations, heads of contingents and the WOSM team. These sessions allowed for in-depth discussion and validation of the information gathered through the surveys. Interviews were conducted with key stakeholders, including the Korean Scout Association, the World Scout Committee and the World Scout Bureau. These interviews were crucial for understanding the perspectives and decisions made by those directly involved in the event's planning and execution. Analysis in January 24. The data was collected and meticulously analysed to identify the root causes of the challenges faced during the event. The panel used a variety of analytical tools, including a RACI matrix, to clarify the roles and responsibilities of the different actors involved in the event. And 3, the report and recommendations from February 24. Based on the analysis, the panel consolidated its findings into a comprehensive report. The recommendations were designed to address the gaps identified and to propose actionable steps for future events. The report was then presented to the World Scout Committee for consideration. This mixed method approach ensured that the review was not only comprehensive, but also grounded in the lived experience and feedback of a wide range of stakeholders within the Scouting movement. Our key findings: accountability and governance. Our review found that the agreements between WOSM and the Korea Scout Association lacked clarity and binding milestones. There were significant gaps in the accountability framework with unclear roles and responsibilities among the WOSM bodies and the host. Additionally, the Korean government became the de facto organiser of the event due to significant funding which they were providing, which led to structural and coordination complications. Event organisation and monitoring. We identified significant deficiencies in core event services such as safety, sanitation, food and medical support. There was poor risk management and a lack of independent expert site verification during both the planning stage as well as during the setup stage. Furthermore, there was ineffective communication and coordination among stakeholders. Communication. Inconsistent, incomplete and late communication from the host was a major issue during the planning stages. Language barriers and inadequate translation services further complicated matters during the planning stages and event time. There was also a notable lack of clear crisis communication strategy. Areas for improvement. Clear accountability. We recommend defining clear roles and responsibilities for WOSM bodies and the host in event organisation and execution. It is crucial to empower the World Scout Committee and the World Scout Bureau with stronger oversight mandates. Enhance risk management. Strengthening risk management practices, including maintaining robust risk registers and contingency plans, is essential. Developing a comprehensive crisis management strategy is also critical. Improved communication. Establishing clear communication strategies, including regular updates and effective feedback mechanisms, is necessary, ensuring all communications are available in WOSM's official languages will help overcome language barriers. Structured event support. Providing stronger guidance and monitoring from the World Scout Bureau, along with implementing clear standards and benchmarks for core event deliverables, will greatly improve event organisation. Recommendations for the future. Governance and accountability. We recommend clarifying the roles of WOSM constitutional bodies in relation to the World Scout youth events. Ensuring ultimate accountability for event organisation and execution lies with the World Scout Committee is vital. Event support and monitoring. The World Scout Bureau should increase its capacity for direct oversight and support of event planning and delivery. Establishing processes for peer review and accessing external expertise during the planning and, if relevant, during the event delivery will enhance event quality. Risk management. Moving from a trust-based to a trust and verify model for reporting and risk management is crucial. Engaging professional resources for the robust risk management and crisis communication strategies will mitigate risks. Communication strategies. Developing a comprehensive communication strategy, including crisis management, is essential. Ensuring all key documents and updates are translated into WOSM's official languages will facilitate better communication. Core requirements for future events. Defining non-negotiable standards for safety, infrastructure and basic services is important. Including these requirements in binding agreements with the host organisations and ensuring they are rigorously monitored will set clear expectations. Conclusion. In conclusion, these improvements and recommendations aim to enhance the quality, safety and accountability of future World Scout youth events. By implementing these measures, we can ensure that future events reflect the values and the standards of WOSM. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, for that comprehensive presentation on the key findings from the Independent Review Panel report of the 25th World Scout Jamboree. The insights of you and your colleagues on the panel into the governance frameworks, event organization, risk management, and communication strategies have provided us the valuable lessons and actionable recommendation for the future events. Let me take the opportunity here on behalf of the World Scout Conference to thank you and your colleagues on the 25th World Scout Jamboree Independent Review Panel for your hard work and diligence. Having an independent panel also sets a new standard for how we review and learn from our major events. The World Scout Committee will now be presenting to the conference the WOSM event strategy as a holistic plan that aims to implement improvements to the planning and delivery of events. Taking into account the lesson learned as well as providing a strategic outlook on the future of WOSM events, we will now invite on stage Chrissy of the World Scout Committee, who served in the past triennium as a governance oversight for the World Events work stream. She will be providing us with the World Scout Committee's own reflection on the 25th World Scout Jamboree and how the WOSM event strategy lights the path forward.
Good morning, conference. Thank you, Madhu, for setting the stage, and good to be with you all. I have bad news and good news for you today. The bad news is that, unfortunately, this segment is going to be slightly less fun than the engaging Congress report we just heard or the energetic Jodi Jodi report. The good news is that fun experience come on the back of well-prepared events. So on behalf of the World Scout Committee, I'm happy to speak to the lessons we as a movement learned about WOSM events and present the event strategy as a way forward. Now we're going to spend quite a bit of time on this topic today, and that is not because the strategy is particularly long as a read. It's quite the opposite, actually. It's because international events are key pillars of how we fulfill our mission and vision in Scouting. And let me tell you this, just recently, I talked to a fellow Scout who comes from a quite disadvantaged community in a small NSOs. His country is ailed by conflicts with neighboring countries, and it's quite a difficult situation. And he told me, years ago, as a teenager, he had the opportunity to attend a World Scout Jamboree, and seeing the microcosm of the world living together in the spirit of camaraderie across all differences, it inspired him to dedicate his career to peace building. He saw what is, he saw what could be, and he decided to help bridge the gap between the two. There are hundreds of thousands of these stories in the movement, of meeting friends you didn't know you had, of feeling a sense of belonging in the world, of having an incredibly fun adventure, of finding out that we have much more in common than what divides us. And that is the magic of WOSM events. And this is why we are talking about this today. This is why we safeguard and improve them, so we may be the keeper of these life-changing learning experiences for the next generation. In this triennium, it has become quite clear that how we manage our events is in need of an overhaul. The World Scout Committee is grateful to the National Scout organizations and their thousands and thousands of volunteers who stepped up during the 25th World Scout Jamboree in times of need. And we're grateful to the independent panel for their work in drawing recommendations from it for safer and more successful World Scout youth events. At the same time as their work, we also conducted an evaluation into the WOSM lessons we can learn so that we can take all that we can. Let's talk about some of the highlights. In line with the panel's finding of accountability gaps, it's become quite apparent that the WOSM team's mandate wasn't always clear to the host. In the future, we will have to sharpen the WOSM team's role and communicate it in no uncertain terms well in advance for us to be effective supporters and supervisors. We have learned that for many reasons, authority levels between WOSM and the host were not defined enough to facilitate timely decision-making. And we also found that while WOSM will certainly respect the host's autonomy, it is crucial to maintain appropriate oversight in order to protect the organization's reputation and interests. As part of the event strategy, we will focus on reviews and assessments to ensure adherence to set standards and on training for WOSM, the host, and national contingents to foster mutual understanding of roles, responsibilities, and expectations. Ultimately, national contingents, and I want this to be very clear, national contingents, a host, and WOSM embark on an adventure of joint leadership to put on events. And our structures, processes, communication, they need to reflect that. We haven't always done that, but this is our job going ahead. Now let's dive into how we aim to achieve this. And this is where the event strategy comes into play. It acknowledges the need for improving how our current events are governed and run in a safe and successful manner. But a strategy should never only be driven by the response to a single event. It needs to articulate how we intend to strategically use events as a way to fulfill Scouting's mission and vision. And our North Star should be to provide more of our membership with access to safe and successful international and intercultural experiences, maybe beyond what we know today as our international events. So the strategy puts forward an ambitious goal. Our aspiration is that we won't stop until we provide one international experience for every Scout, everywhere, every year. Now, we won't be able to do that today, not tomorrow, or next year, or even in 5. But it must be our next direction of travel, to improve what we currently have, and then to think boldly beyond it. At the core of it, the event strategy asks, what kind of events do we want to run? The answer is that we must ensure our events, and by extension any international experience beyond traditional events, are safe, accessible, inclusive, sustainable, and impactful, fostering trust among member organizations and hosts, while enhancing planning and delivery expertise. Now, can we go one back? Thank you. Can do that? Okay, imagine the slide we just had. What does that mean? What does the core objective of having these kind of experiences mean? Now, safe international experiences prioritize the safety and well-being of all participants. And this involves core standards and frameworks for risk management, operational planning, and comprehensive site and safety assessments. Sustainable international experiences mean minimizing the carbon footprint of WOSM events and promoting eco-friendly practices. We will set core standards for sustainability, develop strategies to handle climate change-related challenges, as we heard in the report from KSA today, and provide practical assistance to hosts on this. Inclusive international experiences means creating welcoming and engaging experiences for Scouts of all backgrounds, and we will refine the participant experience to ensure inclusivity, especially for those attending through solidarity programs, and we will support hosts in planning and delivering those type of events. Impactful international experiences means ensuring that our events act as a catalyst for transformative learning. We don't talk about events just to mitigate disaster. We do them because there's an impact behind it. And we will work on the educational objectives of our international experiences, aligning them better with WOSM's mission and initiatives, including the strategy for Scouting and relevant policies. Accessible international experiences focus on making international experiences more accessible to a broader audience, a broader range of our membership. And this includes exploring new formats and hosting modalities beyond traditional in-person events. We aim to expand solidarity programs and develop partnerships to increase the scale of our offerings, so we can ensure that more Scouts benefit from international experiences in a way that we haven't been able to do it before. Now, in many ways, as is true across the movement and in life, paper is very patient, and our strategy is currently on paper. So the proof is in the implementation of a plan, and so I will briefly allow me to take a couple of minutes to talk about what we aim to put in place to make sure the implementation matches the ambitious goals here. Which key tools and solution do we envision to power this strategy? This is what we will invest in to ensure that the strategy will come to life. Number one will be around support and supervision systems. We will establish binding minimum standards and frameworks for WOSM events. We will engage external experts and create a multidisciplinary support team and a new supervision team for independent oversight, certainly a direct learning from all we've heard today. A crisis leadership plan will be implemented for swift decision-making during crises, and improvements in financial planning and management will be made. Number two is transferable systems. By developing project management and risk management systems, we will improve operational delivery and reduce risks. A unified registration system will be deployed, and knowledge management systems will be created to facilitate the transfer of good practices from one host to the next, and to ensure that resources are being shared between events. A comprehensive event sustainability framework will be developed, and the safe from harm standard will be enhanced. Number three is capacity building. Our resources and our treasure are the people. So we will invest in training volunteers, and we will employ external experts to support WOSM and the hosts. A new format called the WOSM Event Academy will facilitate knowledge transfer and provide resources, for example, for safe from harm measures, and to promote a culture of transparency and accountability. Number four, on the honestly quite long laundry list of items to show that we really mean business, is we will invest in the image of WOSM events. We will build confidence and trust in WOSM events through investing in marketing and public relations efforts. So when a kid comes home from a scout meeting and says, "Mom, Dad, I would love to go to a Jamboree one day," and they go on a search engine and type it in, they will find coverage that reflects the nature of our events. We will also improve collaboration with member organizations on this, and we will invest in fundraising and partnership communication. Number five is innovating new formats for international experiences. We will explore new ways of doing international events, international experiences, and that includes engaging digital ways of doing things, hybrid events, but we will also look into providing international experiences beyond those. We will expand opportunities for younger scouts and diversify our general engagement approaches. Now I'll come to an end here. You will have much more opportunity to go into detail on this. You will have a breakout session later today, and conference document number 8 is your best friend in understanding more of the context around it. The WOSM event strategy is the first ever comprehensive and more strategic look at how we want to utilize them to fulfill Scouting's mission and vision, and which standards we're setting for the planning and delivery. I invite you to engage with it. It matters. It's one of the direct ways that WOSM engages with your national contingents and your NSO. Give feedback. The strategy itself, conference document number 8, will not go through a formal amendment process, but as you can see in the resolution text which you will vote upon, the incoming World Scout Committee is obliged to take all the feedback from the conference into consideration when it finalizes the strategy for implementation. Through your support, we can now initiate a new era for events and WOSM, and we need it. Together, we can future-proof international experiences for the next generations of young people. Let us be the keeper of these incredible experiences that have been so impactful to many of us in this room. Thank you so much for your attention, and I look forward to discussing further with you in the breakout session.
Thank you, Chrissy, for that insightful presentation on the WOSM event strategy, your detailed overview on the main objectives, strategic goals, and the aspiration of providing one international experience for every scout, everywhere, every year, has given us a good understanding of the path forward. So you have heard quite a series of reports now on the recent world events from the host, from the independent panel, from the World Scout Committee. But we are very keen to hear from you, our member organizations. World events are something that makes our Scout movement unique, and we want to make sure you all are heard and able to provide your inputs. There is a couple of ways you will be able to do this. First, what we will do is we will take a well-deserved coffee break. Following the coffee break, we invite you to join a breakout to learn more about the WOSM event strategies and discuss with your peers. We have 7 breakout rooms dedicated to the WOSM event strategies, 2 in English, 2 in French, 2 in Arabic, and 1 in Spanish. We also have 1 dedicated breakout room to meet with Korea Scout Association to ask them questions on their report on the 25th World Scout Jamboree. This breakout room will be facilitated in English and interpreted in the 3 other WOSM languages. Later this afternoon and the day after tomorrow, we will consider 2 formal proposals on WOSM events, a constitutional amendment, and a draft resolution to approve the WOSM event strategy. Those are 2 formal plenary opportunities for delegations to engage on how we see WOSM events in the future being organized. So we are looking forward to hear your thoughts on WOSM events. I encourage all of you to use the engagement opportunities so we help shape our future together. We would also like to remind you that you can still cast your vote for the election of the World Scout Committee 2024 to 2027 if you wish to do so. Support is available at the voting support booth right outside our plenary hall or online. Our team will be happy to assist you. The vote will be closed at 12:30 p.m. Cairo time at the start of our lunch break. Thank you everyone for turning in this morning for the reports and updates from the WOSM events. You will now have an opportunity for a short break, after which the breakouts will commence. We will meet you back in the plenary after lunch at 2 p.m.